Oh, good day, everyone. I am now with Jeannie with West Valley Accounting Services. So thank you, Jeannie, for coming in to talk to us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, Jeannie, can you describe your business to us?
So, West Valley Accounting, we do bookkeeping, payroll, monthly accounting, quarterly accounting, everything a business owner needs to track their income expenses and do their books.
Nice, nice. The important job that needs to be done.
Everybody needs it.
Everybody needs it, and most people don't like to do that.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so here you are to handle it for them. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
That's great. So what made you decide to open this business?
So, I've been doing accounting a really long time.
Yeah.
Kind of right out of college, got into bookkeeping,
Okay.
and always worked for somebody else,
Sure.
another company. I worked for schools, nonprofits, and then I had a business. My husband had a business, and we went to a CPA, and she said, "Why don't you have a bookkeeping business, accounting business? You're so good at that." And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I've always worked for somebody."
Right.
So I decided to take that leap, and actually went to work for that CPA, where she taught me to do taxes.
Okay.
Where I learned in school, but it's definitely not the same. Accounting
Right.
school is not the real world.
Yeah.
It's all the time. So I started doing a little bit side work. I had a little baby at the time, so and I loved the way I could help different types of businesses. So it was
Right.
really interesting. I'd always seemed to be bored in the corporate world, working the same thing every day. So that's how I started.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Why did you choose accounting in your life?
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess I was always good with numbers.
Okay.
When as a little girl, some of the girls were playing with dolls. I was playing bank.
Okay. All
I was
right.
playing with the cash register.
Yeah.
My mother got me a ledger as a present,
Yeah.
So it was just always something I really liked, and I just always loved business. Those TV shows about business and what's happening, and that's it. I mean, I just really like numbers, and I had a knack for being able to figure things out quick.
Right.
So, and the funny thing is, people always think I'm really good at math.
Yeah.
No, not really good at math. Cannot help my daughter with her algebra or geometry.
All right.
Basic math, but being able to recognize those numbers and how they fit into a business.
Yeah.
It's just really, it's fun for me.
Well, that's great. And it's great you're a numbers person. I can see that being something that you would really need in this profession. Like if I was trying to do my own bank reconciliations and I'm trying to make that balance and I'm out a few pennies or a few dollars, how do I find that? What really impresses me about people like yourself, you know exactly where the checks and balances are and narrow that in, and where I would spend hours and hours and hours.
Totally.
And probably never find it.
Yep.
You just know
Yeah,
it
I've just been able to program my brain that way, I guess. Say, oh, that's a transposition in a number.
Right.
And well, how do you know that? Oh, well, I added it up and it was a 9. And
Right.
somebody says, well, how did you know that?
Yeah, I know.
It's just after doing it repetitiously for a while,
Yeah.
repeatedly for a while, you get a knack for it.
You get a knack for it,
And it's so, the non-numbers people think it's a crazy thing, but it's so
Right.
nice to get to 0 in that bank
That
record.
is. That's really important to
It
get
is
to 0 in
important.
that bank record. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is really important.
Definitely.
So, well, that's great. So what motivates you, Jeannie, on it? What motivates you?
well,
What drives you?
I love my clients. I love working for different types of businesses.
Yeah.
And which includes a lot of nonprofits I work with.
Okay.
So that's a really great motivator to be, kind of not out in the field maybe, but helping behind the scenes. It's really important.
Yeah.
I work for nonprofits that do so good in the community,
Right.
and knowing that I have a little bit of part in that,
Nice.
is really good. So that's really motivational. And my for-profit clients, to see them doing well and being able to see how they're doing on a monthly basis is really important to me. And when I say my one client every month says, "You're my hero,"
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's great. It's like, I'm an accountant. I'm not a hero,
Not a hero.
but to her I am, and
You are.
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, well, that's great. And that's a really good point. So you do work for profit and
I do.
nonprofit companies as well. So
Yeah, my
that's-
career was in nonprofit before out of school.
Yeah.
I worked for United Cerebral Palsy back in New York, where I'm from.
Yeah.
I worked for charter schools here in Arizona. So that was a just a really good learning experience for me, and not all accountants know nonprofit accounting.
So there's a difference.
There is a difference. So there's a lot of things that nonprofits need to do that regular accounting professionals don't have to do and don't need to know.
Yeah.
So I like being able to help those, and I've had other accountants reach out to me. I'm in mastermind groups and things like that, and they've said, "Oh, should I take on a nonprofit accounting work?" And I said, "Well, do you know nonprofit accounting work?" "No, but it's the same." I said, "No, it's not the same."
And it's interesting you mentioned. I would have thought it would be the same thing.
Principles are the same.
Yeah.
Accounting principles are always the same.
Right.
But there's just a lot of extra steps that a nonprofit needs to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really good to know.
Yeah.
That is good to know. So, Jeannie, what surprises you? What surprises you?
Oh my goodness. Well, so you and I had talked about this before.
Yeah.
But what surprises me is how many business owners really don't track their information and their accounting.
Right.
If you have money in the bank, you must be doing good. No, not
necessarily.
So that really surprises me how many, and small business owners don't really pay attention, and they need to. So, and so much for the fact that maybe you're spending money on something that doesn't have an ROI, return on investment for you. How do you know if you're not tracking?
Yeah.
So that's really surprising that, the business community, there are people that just think, well, I've got money coming in, I'm good.
Yeah.
So, but maybe you're not. Maybe
you are. Maybe you are. Yeah.
And maybe you could be better if you had more of the information.
Right. I mean, that's a really good point too, and I believe that. I've been in small business myself for a number of years, and knowing my numbers was really important to me, and I know a lot of business owners, let's face it, it's not that they don't want to know, they are so busy. They've got so much else on their plate. I mean, they are the CEO, the CFO, the hiring manager, the HR person. They are running multiple hats.
Yes.
That this is the one thing that tends to fall by the wayside.
It is, and especially solopreneurs. People that are totally on their own with no help. And I've heard people say, "Well, I'm up till 11 p.m. doing my books, and man, I hate it."
Yeah.
And we've said that before. People just don't like to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not, maybe it's not revenue generating, so it's kind of on the back burner for their business. But it really is so important.
It's critically important.
Critically important.
And it's great to have somebody like you in the community that can just come along and just do it. And
it's not terribly expensive. I mean, people think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to pay X amount of dollars. Well, you'd be surprised. It's not. And the time you save, what's your time worth?
Right.
So if, I have monthly fees. So if you're paying me, say, $350 a month, say, what did you spend in your time and doing that? And how much can you have been out in the community selling yourself for something
100%. Or just spending time with the family.
Right.
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, which you don't get a lot of time to either anyway as a small business owner.
Right. And I have clients that are a heck of a lot less than $350 a month. Some are more. It's a different rate, but a very small business could be a lot less.
Yeah.
And then they don't realize it's can you really do all that for me? And hey, I'm efficient. I went to school for this. I got you handled, and trust me. And
you gotcha.
And I don't want to ever say, well, I'll do it better than you.
No.
But I'll do it in a really efficient timeline too, so you know every month what's going on.
Yeah, so important.
Really
so important to know really what's going on and where you are on a monthly basis as far as your numbers. You have to be. I always say you have to be financially literate.
You do.
You have to know your numbers.
Right.
And somebody like you can really help just to provide that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't know how to read the reports, I'll teach you.
You'll teach you. Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect.
Important. Yeah.
That's perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience, Jeannie?
So, I service the entire West Valley. I live in the West Valley, so I work in Avondale, Goodyear, Surprise, Buckeye, but I do all my work remotely. So,
Okay.
which you don't have to have an office for me to sit in or a computer for me to use.
Right.
I can do remotely. I can visit people's offices as well, but people really tend to like that
Right.
they can remote, and I have secure servers to send me information. So it's fantastic, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. That I can't tell you how excited I am to be able to share you and this information with our audience.
Thank you.
And it is such an important part that you do in a role that you play in the business. And I was just reading an article this morning that small business makes up over 50% of the job workforce.
Right.
So small business is important. It's really vital in the economy.
Yeah.
And so we employ a lot of people. So
Right here in the West
having
Valley,
you-
small business is growing.
Exactly.
So,
a lot.
yep.
A lot. So that is great. So
Yep.
there you have it, folks. Jeannie from
West Valley Accounting.
Accounting Services. So thank you very much, Jeannie, for coming in
Thank
today.
you, Arnold.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.